this is the first quarterfinal of the OGN Apex tournament. Afreeca blue versus Reunited. Reunited in blue, Afreeca Freecs in red. Comp starting out here, Lucy on both sides, super standard. So both standard. I still think Zarya is standard in this meta no matter what. She just, the bubble saving you from stuff is just too good. So those are just kind of standard. Kind of gets interesting after that point. They're both running a dive comp with the Winstons. Morte is playing Anna. I actually think he's really good Anna. It's getting mirrored over here. Big difference is Arhan playing Genji. He's a good Genji. Recry, I have not seen his Pharah. His Hans was pretty good. But it's kind of interesting that Arhan's on Genji for projectile. So they're running double projectile, which is kind of weird with the dive comp. So I would almost prefer Recry be on a Tracer here to just make their dive that much better. But then you almost just want the Zen. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't hate it, but it's not the best in my opinion. Unfixed, also projectile, mainly player. Switch over from tank to DPS, so not surprised by that. And yeah, they're running what I think Recry should be on the Tracer. It's just better. Like, you just dive in and it's just better. I still think people are gonna be playing Anna over Zen for good competitive matches until Anna gets nerfed more, and Lucio is just a must pick. So overall, I think it really depends. This game might depend a lot on Recry, and I haven't seen his Pharah, but I know his Hanzo's pretty good. So this could be interesting.
Blue's play style. Looks like we are going to see the Genji come out from Unfixed to start alongside Valentai's typical Tracer, the hero he's played by
Afreeca Freecs dives first. Recry is getting some good rockets in. Morty zoned out because they dove first. It's just they dove first and Recry hit some good rockets, so they're gonna win this first fight. Unfixed should just die. This Unfixed getting like dying late here is pretty bad. I think they're trying way too hard to like stop this point from being captured instead of just regrouping and pushing together. Good dive by Valentaiva and Winghaven here. Okay, yeah, and Unfixed is there. Unfixed finishes it off. They just don't have anything to deal with this Pharah though. If Recry's hitting shots, then they don't have anything to deal with this Pharah with. And just look, like yeah, Recry got low there, but he just never got low enough where it mattered. I mean, this is just kind of like basic, like almost like Pharah in pubs when you have nothing to kill it, they just go off. Like Morte, I think needs to try harder to kill the Pharah, but then on the other side they have an Anna healing the Pharah, so I don't think they really have any way to deal with this Pharah. So they need to just like try to kill them fast, but they're really not doing that. So I really think they should switch to something to counter this Pharah, but we'll see if they do that or not. Reunited's usually weak against or dive comps, so this doesn't surprise me that like a dive comp with a Pharah is like good against them. Especially since they just don't have anything to do with the Pharah.
Right now, Afreeca not actually playing too terribly far forward. They're not trying to camp on the spawn over the bridge. They're taking back. Alright, here Dragon Blake.
So this heal grenade is actually really good. The fact that he gets this with the Winston bubble there and everything. That's actually really good. Arhan is popping ulti. They don't have a nano boost to charge it. They don't have Jin. Looks like she's almost gonna die. Yeah, two of Reunited is hit with this heal grenade that I mentioned over here, which is great from Dayfly. But I don't know. I feel like committing ults to this fight right now, this could be bad because they don't really have any other way to support Arhan unless they drop the beat. And I think they might be forced to drop the beat as he's dying, and you might not get that much use out of this. Especially because, like, look where Unfixed is. Do you even see Arhan, which means he's over here? So he's jumping to the middle of everybody, and you can see this dart from the ant. I don't know. I also don't understand what this positioning is right here. It's just confusing. Valataya is a little bit out of position in my opinion over here as well. I don't really get that, but
Getting pulled out. Sounds like it's gonna.
he's getting chased by the Genji. I'm really confused why Arhan goes for the Tracer of all things. I mean, I guess he doesn't have that much kill targets, but I would probably try to kill Morty, unless you're scared of the sleep dart to stop the nano boost. But you should just listen for the sleep dart. I don't know.
Arhan, yeah. Genji Master Extraordinaire going after Valataya, gets the kill.
Like, he only gets Volatile with that entire sword, which is like huge. And Onigod kills Jin, which is what I was talking about with that great anti-heal grenade from Morte. So now they just kind of lose this fight because they don't have anything else to work on unless they just like hard. I don't think you could even out mechanic this at this point because you're not that good of players, because Winghaven's about to be at 99%. He's at 95. Cruz is only at 65, but that's not that big of a deal. So to try and win this fight, you have to commit this, and you probably have to commit this. But your Genji's potentially gonna die now. Like, I don't really know how Arhan's supposed to get out of this, especially with his dash down. He should die. Like, they should just fight and die, but if they don't, then that's real interesting. I don't know. This is really confusing positions. I really think Arhan could have done more with that sword if he had just held it longer. So they dropped the beat to save Arhan, even though Jin's already dead because Valataya is dead. But now if Reunited lives through this drop the beat, then it doesn't matter. And they can just Dragon Blade with a nano and wipe entirely. So all they have to do is manage Recry for this drop the beat, and then they'll be fine.
Counterpart in the meantime, Afreeca Freecs Blue dropping the sound barrier. That's going to let Arhan get really aggressive onto Morty here. Tries to deflect the sleep dart.
Alright. Alright, Unfixed. So, Unfixed has both his supports back on the bridge over here, and he decides, yeah, committing this ulti is a good idea. I don't know what the hell that was. Especially after you forced this, because I'm pretty sure you could have just saved the ulti after you picked Valataya. Like, yeah, they picked Valataya, and then Afreeca used this. So I get the idea of, hey, let's wipe them, but Unfixed should have held that longer and got support from his things. I don't know. I just never see Reunited run a dive comp properly. They're way too scattered and they're never coordinated. Like, I don't think they've had a coordinated fight yet, whereas Afreeca has had a coordinated fight and Recry has just been getting to do whatever he wants. So this is just another fight they lose, even though I think they had the ult advantage.
Wait, that's on Unfixed. We've gone from Genji to Genji again, apparently. So meanwhile,
Adam lose to 30 health, that's pretty big.
More boring ninja, in my opinion. But in the end,
But they're gonna lose that fight no matter what.
Sleeping ninja is definitely the more boring ninja as far as these.
Like, look at Recry. He's literally just floating in the air and they have nothing to shoot him down with, and they still haven't swapped anything to shoot him down with. So here comes the nano boost. They're gonna try to get Onigod's Graviton, Pulse Bomb, and they might have nano boosted Onigod to get his Graviton. I can't actually tell. Arhan dies, so that means if Onigod gets Graviton, Reunited takes the point. And knows the positioning for once. Reunited is, oh, it's on the Winston here, who's getting Zarya bubbled. This is good. This is really good jump in. Because they have to deal with this, they just get to run across this bridge. All they have to watch out for is Recry's conk, which is on cooldown, so it doesn't actually matter as long as they go across the bridge now with a speed boost. Recry is probably going to barrage the Winghaven, So that's going to be gone. But if you get Onigod's ult, and it's a good graviton with Valataya, then you can clear the point and take this back. But it's at 75. This is already like super good by Afreeca Blue at this point, to have taken this. So it's interesting, especially because they come back, and even though Arhan is dead, if they save this barrage, they have Nano Barrage, which would actually just do a crap ton of damage. Or they can even try to hold it for Jin, who's at 72% ult to get Graviton, and try to do a 3-3 combo. But we'll see if he gets if Winghaven gets anything done here. So I'm not sure if he will or not, because look how far he is in separation from his team. Like, this is Onigod who's giving him the bubble, and everybody else is standing behind Onigod here. So they really need to make up ground with the speed boost, because again, 3 seconds or they're screwed. And Recry gets to knock them all off the bridge, and they go and they all cry tears of sadness. Yeah. Tears of sadness. I know, I'm such a great drawer. Look at their puddle of tears.
The Zarya right clicks, the rockets keep coming in, but there's the nano boost onto the Winston. Nano boost onto Recry as well.
Okay, so because his conch is down, they decide, hey, we're gonna nano boost Recry, and he's just gonna keep them off the bridge, which is interesting. I mean, it's actually really smart, especially because Winghaven was so far out. Who ends up dying here? Yeah, and their Anna's dead. So if Recry doesn't get a kill with this, then this could be really bad that they throw away that nano boost.
We'll see what he can get done with that. Not a whole lot. Gonna pop the primal rate.
Yeah, Unfixed is just getting work done with just Valataya on Tracer, who's actually a really good Tracer.
Just barely staying alive as he backs away from the angry scientist.
Recry almost dies. It's actually pretty good that he lives, to be honest. There's just 9 more ult charge, like 80 health for an ult charge. That's just good. So now you're relying on Jin and Recry's Graviton combo to get this point back. But Onigod and Valataya also have combo, so like this is a fair fight.
Look at that move from Recry, man. Getting himself back
Okay. Remember when I said I don't know if Recry is going to be good or not? My god. Really good, actually. They still just have nothing to shut this guy down. He just gets to the back line, immediately takes down Morte. Yeah, their team ended up dying because Valataya and Onigod comboed. But it's just good that he can get back here and he's not getting denied at all. So they're going to lose this fight, but I'd just like to point out that they're probably going to win the next one because Recry's just not getting dealt with.
Morty, that's exactly what they need to do. Valataya, though, gets 2 on the Tracer. There's a there hit.
Oh my god. Never mind. Or it can come down to a skill matchup where I'm pretty sure Afreeca Freecs takes the point back because Arhan's at full HP, Unfixed and Valataya are at half and a third and 3/4. So it's really unlikely that they can actually kill Recry if he just stays up here with thrusters. And if they focus Arhan, then Recry will just kill them and they get this point back, which means they probably have the advantage, especially with, look at all this ult percentage. Like, it's actually crazy. Everybody on Afreeca Blue is about to have ults. Onigod and Valataya just use theirs. Yeah, Unfixed is going to have his, but they don't have nano boost to do anything with it. Winston ultis, let's just count. Where's Adam? Let's just count these out. These are just stall ultis. But the fact that he's only on 17% is actually really good because it's harder to stall this point, and like that's 80 something, 86. I can't tell, it blared out. Is really good. And Cruz only has dropped the beat. But the thing is, can drop the beat survive through a barrage and a Dragon Blade, especially when they can be gravitoned, and Yes Man's close to his, so potentially by the time Cruz drops the beat in the next fight, Yes Man drops the beat as well. So like, that fight was just somehow Reunited just lost. I don't understand why or how, but especially because they should have got at least 3 with that combo.
See if they can. I guess Recry backing up for the moment anyway.
Yeah, right there we see is that Reunited is now playing more aggressive.
Why does Recry run away from that? Arhan is in here fighting. You could have just thrust her just at the top. Yeah, it's likely that they both focus you, but that opens up Recry, or like Recry could have also just gone to the point. And if they focus you, like there's a good chance Arhan just kills both of them and you get the point back faster, because you're pretty sure Lucio died faster and you get the speed boost there. So I don't understand that at all.
It's basically these fights have been going as to who can kill the enemy supports first.
Yeah, look, Valatai died. Like, Valatai is in there fighting, and Unfixed isn't, and they, I don't know, that's just like the weirdest thing ever. Just like the weirdest chicken ever. I understand the idea here, but Valatai decided to die. Just gone. So why is Winghaven jumping through the window into here, and Unfixed is following through the window? So, you're down a DPS. So half your DPS is just gone, like just gone, forget about it. So why are you here and here as the Genji, especially when you have Cruises drop the beat and he has to walk all the way around to get in there. Morte doesn't have a line of sight to heal you. So you're going to try and make a play with this Dragon Blade without the nano boost and without a sound barrier. Like, what? And you're running into a team that's going to have a full reinforcement, basically. This is literally just throwing the last fight that they had for no reason. Unless Unfixed and Winghaven just go off somehow in this fight, which they shouldn't. Especially because you can see support. And they don't have either of theirs. So, this is just, why are you doing this? Like, why are you throwing the fight right now? I don't understand. You had another fight still left. Good Zarya shield by Oniga, or by Jin, sorry. Now they have Graviton. Somehow Recry dies. I think he shot and Winghaven put down his bubble, which is huge. But they should just Graviton this right now and they just win the fight. It doesn't matter. Why is he not Gravitoning? Okay, he Gravitons like 2 seconds too late. And Unfixed is on the other side. He still ends up dying, but like, look at this. Like, their entire team just evaporated. And Cruz was in a shit position because he had to run in there like super fast. Morte's really not able to heal. Winghaven should already be dead if not going to, but he's about to die. Really doubt Morte can keep him alive through an entire team pumping damage into him because he's just here in the middle of the point. They're gonna recap at 86. It's unlikely that you get another good fight, so Valatai is probably going to run back to the point right now, and he's going to try to stall it right after Winghaven and Morte die, and when this hits like 90 something, they're going to fight. Like, this is actually like super close to getting another fight, but they all have to be on the point. So I think this might have been an ulti overcommit here, because they just used 4 ults. When I don't think they needed to use that many. But if there's not another fight, it doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, Recry died to Barrage. I think he barraged the bubble that Winghaven put right here. I didn't notice that. That's why he suicided. I thought he just shot a rock into it. Nobody barraged it. So this could have been a potential throwback from Afreeca. I think it all depends if they catch Valatai or if he gets away with stalling it, but in a pro match, the level of aim that these guys have, Valatai shouldn't get the aim. Arhan's just trying to clean up with a nano boost, that's fine.
Already up to 95% right now.
And they've been split spawn too. Morty dying so late right there caused a lot of
good chase by Arhan onto Unfixed. Great tracking. Valatai hasn't run to the point. He should be the one stalling the point. They get this fight, but I mean, 2 people are already dead getting back to this point and fighting. Yeah, that's just over. They were forced to run through defenses, and especially with Unfixed having to get the overtime like he did. Just kind of threw away half their DPS again.
Reunited, can they get the response here in time.
So like
They actually
Winghaven
get
and
the
Unfixed
boost
just
again
actually
there.
threw that
Unfixed
fight like
trying
super
to do
hard.
something. There's
That
the reflection.
round, not that fight,
Looking for
by
some
just
kills, though. He's
throwing
getting
away their
by
lives
time
at the
at
last
this point.
fight,
Jin
last
does
proper
get the
fight.
Volatai in the meantime.
Unfixed is actually
That's it.
just alive for
Overtime
too long in
dying
here, but
faster,
doesn't
and Afreeca's
matter.
Blue
Like it's
take
just
the garden.
you can't 1v6 in this game.
Mana boost just to stall out time, get the damage reduction on the Genji. He was not anywhere close. He's being able to pull out
Pretty
the
interesting
points.
stage.
Easy first take there from Afreeca, but this is what we've come to know
It
from them.
just
Their strength
looked
is
like
huge on
Afreeca
these
just
controlled
always was together and Reunited wasn't ever together.
They are so aggressive, but I do like what we saw from Reunited. They looked
Also,
a little
like,
scared, a little bit cowed.
why did they not try to deal with Recri's Pharah at all? Like, literally the only time I think he died that entire game is when he barraged the Winston bubble, which is just Winghaven good bubble position.
They leave Dayfly and Yes Man also in uncomfortable positions if you can get that DPS back there. Unfixed going to swap up to the Roadhog here on Night Market.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so they're finally dealing with the Pharah that plagued them the entire last round that they had no way to deal with. They're finally going to this McCree to deal with the Pharah. Great. Only God still on Zarya, standard. Standard. Winghaven going back to, in my opinion, his better of two heroes. I really only see him play Winston and Reinhardt, and I think he's a good Reinhardt. I don't think he's a good Winston. And just standard Anna. Other side standard Anna, standard. They're still running the dive comp with this Pharah. I'm not sure if the comp works so well anymore because they have Volatia with a Reinhardt to deal with the Pharah. Also Unfixed, if he gets a hook on him, can deal with it. I think this is mainly to deal with the dive comp of it being a Winston. They probably see as an issue, so they can just hook him and just deal with him. In my opinion, this is a really good comp that Reunited brought out versus Afreeca Blue here. The issue is they didn't look coordinated last time, so as much as I love this comp that they're running, I'm not sure they're gonna run it so well, because the thing is they were all discombobulated last round. If Recry, Arhan, Adam all just say, hey, we're killing somebody, this is their combined force, and they get on Morte and Cruz, this team can still win. Especially because Unfixed is definitely going to be looking at the Winston. If Jin has a good bubble on the Winston and holds it a little bit, then he can stop this hook entirely, which is like super good. And Adam gets a good bubble off in his position to like stop Unfixed for just shooting shotgun damage on him. So Reunited should theoretically win, but it all comes down to if they're playing as a team or not. I don't think that they will pull this off, but we'll see. Valentine is also like a kind of a streaky player, so there is times where he just hits nut shots. Interesting that Recry went over the top there. It's
Taking out that Anna. It's really hard to stop him, but here we are now on the night market. Recry back on the Pharah again. Plenty of angle.
like, look at this. This is what I was talking about. Yes, this comp has all the things that they want to deal with what Afreeca's bringing, but like, look at this. Cruz is about to die. Only God here is hit with an anti-heal grenade, and he's just getting dove on and just dying. Unfixed, I don't think it landed the hook, so Adam just kind of gets to do whatever he wants. Like, yeah, Adam's half HP, and yeah, Arhan's half HP, but this is a Winston and a Genji. If they get to kill Cruz, and they get on Morte, it's over. Like, the second the Cruz dies, it's huge. If Yes Man gets around to over here, like Freecry makes room to get his supports around to over into this brick where they have line of sight into here, then this is just over and they get first point again. And the thing is you're trying to retake this point. You have to come in the front because you're playing against a Pharah that can knock you off this entire ledge down here. like this entire blue area that I'm just outlining right now, you cannot walk on that, and the stairs up to here. Like, you cannot walk on any of that because there's a chance that Yes Man or Recry just knocks you off. So you have to come in this front way. And the issue coming in against this comp is Farah can spam the door. Arhan is super hard to get like a line of sight on to like pin him down, because he can like run up the walls over here and like poke you as you're running in, or even just like be sitting over here, climb up over the wall and just come harass the supports, forcing their entire team to come around. And if he ever gets threatened, he just jumps back over this wall. And like the only answer that they have to chase Arhan around is Unfix landing a crazy hook that, you know how Roadhog hooks just is the most broken thing ever and hooks through a wall. We've all been there. We've all got hooked like that. It's bullshit. But I just don't, like, that's what I mean. Like, Reunited just didn't run this comp right, in my opinion, and we're about to find out if they somehow pull this off.
As well as we look down from his perspective, you see a lot of members of Reunited on their own going after Morty again.
Okay, so Valataya, remember when I said he was a streaky player, he actually just kills Arhan here. Adam died, I expected that, but they didn't kill Cruz. Somehow Cruz didn't die here, and Reunited's going to take the point for that free. I don't know how Cruz lived with literally no HP. Like, this little dot is all he had for HP. He somehow lives. Adam was bound to die, but they don't get anybody else on this team, and Recry didn't get anybody. Like, anybody that was low. So now they just get this point back. They just get this point. Like, that was surprising that Cruz lived.
Very carefully here. There we go. I was like,
And he just didn't give Arhan a reset either, so he was easier to pin down for Valataya. I expected comp change from Afreeca here.
The initial pickoff, so they are in a very good position now. Afreeca with the kill on the Morty is going to have a nano boost advantage. That's probably what they're going to be looking for. Gets knocked off.
Oh my god, you're playing against a Farah that literally could have done this the entire last map, and you know he's not dead. You have no idea where he is, but you decided to take the risk to walk outside this door onto this ledge, and he just gets a free kill on Oni God. And I didn't see if somebody flew off the back here as well, but he ends up killing Unfixed as well. So like, Recry is just hard carrying this point right now. Like, there's a chance that they're definitely gonna they capped it, and they're definitely getting points from it. But Afreeca's Freecs should just reinforce this, and with a full 6-man, just take this back. Yes, Arhan is like slightly low on HP, but he shouldn't have died. And if he is dying, then that's just Valataya going off, hitting crazy shots. Also, just like to point out 87 to Barrage and 55 to Zarya, whereas their combo, which they really don't have anything to combo with, this is 50. Boy, you combo with this, like McCree, and he's only at 47. Like, yes, McCree alt builds super fast, but like, this next fight, if Valataya dies and Morte's not in line, Recry could just unleash a barrage that just wipes this entire team off the map. But it's just crazy to see that barrage, one of the slower building ults, is already like there.
And then finished up Unfixed, backs into a bunch of rockets, and that's going to be a flip on the point.
Wow, that was 3 kills rather for Recry.
Yeah, Recry just carried that point. My god, his Farah is quite impressive.
Really emerged as another star DPS that people really need to take seriously, and it's making his presence known here.
Absolutely. Morty really suffering this match. He is sitting only at 35%.
Great heal grenade, my lord. Did he hit a... Oh my god, that was amazing. Dayfly lands a 5-man grenade. Or a 4-man, I don't know if it hit Unfixed, so we're just gonna like do /Unfixed question mark. Or at least 3, so maybe more to didn't get hit. But I'm just saying, like, just lands this, and Winghaven just falls over dead because of this. Dayfly single-handedly just stops an entire push, so they probably get like another 20%, unless mechanical craziness happens. But I don't feel like you want to push into this Farah through the corridor that you're trying to push through at all without a Reinhardt. So that's just huge by Dayfly there.
Probably gonna blow the barrage and pick up the kill on.
So he ends up using the barrage for it, which is good. Like, you never want to stay on ultis too long. I'm really glad that Reecry actually found a use for his ulti. That's something he didn't do last round, and it gives them a free like 15-20% on the point, because he has to, like, they just have to back off without Winghaven. I see them diving in further here, but I don't actually like this idea at all. It looks like Adam's standing here. I can't tell if this that's a Genji dash in or out line, because if Arhan is trying to go in here, that's awful. They should just back out. They've won this fight. There's not really any point. You already had the ult advantage between these two. Like, you're gonna have sword, nano sword for next fight, so just wait for that. Reecry just won you the point and won you that fight. Just back off. There's no reason to give any of these people ult. You might think that Cruz would be close to it, but I mean, Cruz built this ult pretty fast, so I'm pretty sure they wouldn't think that he has it ready. But I still think that Afreeca Freecs shouldn't be in here anymore the second that Winghaven dies, because they'll just back out. They'll walk back through this now. Reunited will. Okay, so it was a dash out.
More waiting that Reunited has to do, and we've seen Afreeca play like this before. They like to play on the high ground here.
Arhan's just poking for his ult, trying to poke for his ult. They're really not trying to poke it too much. They nano boost the Winston here. This is really interesting to me. They decided to, like, Dayfly, instead of getting Arhan, walking back to the point and giving this ult to Arhan and wiping the team, they say no, we're gonna give it to Adam, and we're gonna get him to jump in there with the Zarya bubble, and we're gonna jump in Arhan with him. Maybe they know Cruz is about to have ulti, and they want to bait the ulti out so Arhan can clean the rest of the fight up with his nano blade, or not nano blade, just dragon blade, because he doesn't have the nano boost. So that's interesting to me. Reecry just had a really smart positioning thing. I just like to note he was standing on top of here to recharge his thrusters without anybody in here past in there knowing that he was standing there. So that's just a smart positioning, and just a little thing to note for like your own play. Just like little edges and stuff you can stand on. There's a similar one on Hollywood that you can use with Pharah or Winston. That's actually a decent spot. So they might be trying to bait this out, and if they get this and Arhan gets to get, because 92, like, that's like nothing for Genji ult if he in a fight. So if he gets this ulti off, and if Cruz's ulti is like halfway to going off, and Morta doesn't land asleep again, then this is another one fight for Afreeca, and they got the only defensive ult that Reunited's running, because they're not running a Zen out of them. Morte has been doing good on Ana, but I'm almost surprised that they know this dive comp was coming and they haven't played Zen. Especially because you can discord the Winston on the way in. I don't know. It's just, I just, against Winston and a Genji, I really think Zenyatta is good. I know I said before that he necessarily wasn't, but like specifically versus a Winston, a Genji, and a Pharah to some extent, because it's really unlikely that she's going to be in a range where her barrage actually outdamages your Zen ult without just dying, especially when you have this McCree. So I'm kind of surprised they're not running this, but let's see how the rest of this fight pans out, because I've been talking too long.
Give the nano boost to Adam as they send him in, and that's going to pull Reunited back again. Arhan has that Dragon Blade. Yep, there.
Okay. So Reunited's kind of smart in a way here. They decide not to use this, even though they've been playing like that the rest of the time. Arhan is currently Dragon Blading to clean up the rest of this fight. Valatai is dead, and what's his name? Onigod are dead. Jin picks both these kills up. Good job. The fight's just kind of over now. The crappy thing is that you're playing Roadhog, and 600 HP to ult charge is like a lot. But there's a high likelihood that before Morte dies, he gets nano boost because he's at 82%. So we'll probably have this next fight, and they can He doesn't really have the best nano boost target outside of a whole hog, which wouldn't really like depend on too much when they're running Dayfly, because Roadhog's such a good big sleep target. So I think they'll nano the high noon that Valataya has here to get in with Unfixed and Winghaven next fight, but they're just gonna lose this fight. I'm almost kind of concerned that Arhan used this ulti here. I understand their plan behind it, but Cruz doesn't commit the sound barrier, so
running the Pharah Mercy
oh my god.
combo. Before actually we've seen Miro play up here too on that Winston. You can rake people with your Tesla gun as you come.
Final now. Winghaven pops a primal.
I love Twitch VODs.
So as we move forward and we talk about escort and hybrid,
From good knockoff opportunities as well as we look down.
Alright, well.
Use that AoE in these little rooms.
Alright, so back to where we were. Sorry about that. Twitch VOD is just the most, or Twitch video is just one of the most annoying things to deal with. You hit a random key and it just brings you off. So yeah, the rest of this fight just gets cleaned up. Winghaven almost has Earthshire here, which is kind of big. By Morte. I mean Morty. So you're saying Morte. That's what we said. I thought it was cold, but it's Morty. Now Adam's using the same ledge the Recry was.
People with your Tesla gun as you come out from below, and you still maintain control of the high ground. Reunited, they've got 4 ultimates up now. They've got to make something work on this push, and it's going to be a high.
So yeah, they nano the high noon. He doesn't get anything out of it. That Graviton from Jin was just beautiful, and they'll probably win the fight because of that. And Valatai doesn't get anything with that nano high noon. So they commit one. Well, they commit 2 ultis for 2 ultis. 3 ultis for 2 ultis. Never mind. My God. No, that was 4 for United, and they still lost. Wow, that was just great. That was just great play by Afreeca, and like, even though Recry carries that first point, and then they just have such a good comp to like hold that choke point with, and Reunited just never had a solid push until the end, but it just gets shut down by a great Graviton by Jin. And Valatai getting nothing out of his high noon, so that's surprising just how dominant they were. I was expecting Reunited to fight back a little bit more, especially because like they got invited to this tournament, and I actually don't think Afreeca is one of the stronger teams in this tournament. I think they're like mid-tier, but they're not like one of the top-tier teams. I mean, they've been doing better, and this meta definitely helps them compared to the rest, but I definitely feel like this is the issue for Reunited, just never playing as a team compared to the other team.